gonna give it a few minutes for everyone to be notified that I'm live, and then we're gonna get started. Today, if you're watching this on replay, today we're gonna be talking about some of my current favorites. So I filmed my monthly favorites video yesterday, and I thought I would give you a sneak peek here on my live on what those products are, and just get ready. We are actually, hi. We're actually going live from our BK office, so it'll be a little different vibe than it normally is on my lives. But the lighting is great. Our office has the best lighting. If you're just joining, drop a little comment, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Okay. I see a few people are on. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Caitlin. Caitlin from Canada. Hey, Kelly. Chicago. Lacey. Hey, Lacey. Jersey Shore. Finland. I love that. Mel, thanks for joining. What time is it in Finland right now? Atlanta, Chicago. Hey, Belle. Houston. My Texas neighbor, Corey. Elena. Hello, guys. Deborah. Thank you guys for being here. I'm so excited to... I was telling my friend Reese, who's here today, shadowing me, that YouTube Lives are my favorite thing to do. I was kind of explaining to her the difference between YouTube Lives and TikTok Lives, and I was like, this is just my people, my community. I love my TikTok friends too, don't get me wrong. But I just feel like this is like a fun, casual kind of hangout time. Hey, Izzy. Hey, Karen. So if you're just joining, we are actually doing this live out of the BK Beauty offices today. I'm spending the day here. So I've done a live out of here once before, so a little different vibe, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. Today I'm going to be getting ready with some of my current monthly favorites. I filmed this video yesterday. That video will be on YouTube hopefully this weekend. But I thought I would just kind of give you guys a sneak peek of some of the products that I've been loving. Lots of new makeup, new products, some products that I picked up during the Sephora sale. And then I'm going to be sharing this makeup planner, which I feel like I've been talking about this nonstop for the last week, but this is my new favorite little thing, my Trish McAvoy makeup planner. So we'll be getting ready. Lacey says, I've been dying at Lyric's Running Girl video. What video is that? What? Running Girl video? Oh, no, I didn't see it. Lacey says she's been dying at it. Lyric makes the best videos. They're so entertaining. Hey, Emily, welcome. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started. It's a couple minutes after 11. You guys know the deal. I'll have all the products that I'm using listed and linked in the description box down below, and then I'll tag everything on YouTube Shopping. And then I've got Maria here if you guys have questions. I'm going to be watching the comments and trying to keep up with questions, but Maria will help me with questions. Oh, and a giveaway. Yes, she's reminding me we're going to do a giveaway. We always do a giveaway at the end of my live, so stick around for that. I'm in the Austin area. Oh my gosh. Well, we are in the South Congress, St. Elmo area of Austin, so I hope you're enjoying your trip here. Hey, Birdie from Houston. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started, you guys. Just to give you some little background on what I have on my skin right now. I did my skincare at home, and then I did apply a tinted SPF. Today I'm wearing the Dr. Jart BB Beauty Balm, which I really, really love. I'm actually doing, I'm planning a video where I'm gonna rate and rank Sephora's best-selling tinted SPFs. So I have like over a dozen of them. I just kind of searched the Sephora website of the best rated, most popular skin tints with SPF, and I've been testing them. This one I've actually been enjoying for the last couple of weeks, but I wanted to share this one. I don't have it here. I'm the shade Light Medium. It's a really, really great tinted SPF. It has an SPF of 40, and it really blurs the skin. Like when I put it on this morning, I noticed that my pores looked smoother. The skin looked kind of airbrush, and it gives really great coverage. So that's what I have on my face now. Let's go in with one of the products that I'm most excited to share. This is a concealer from the brand CREAL. If you guys have tried anything from CREAL, drop a comment and let me know what are your favorite products. I picked this up during the Sephora sale. And I've been wanting to try this brand for a while, but I hesitated because it's not a brand that they have in store in my local Sephora's. So I was always like unsure of what shade to order, but then I thought, you know what, if I'm gonna order this concealer, I might as well get 20% off. So I ordered it, and thankfully I got the right shade. I ordered the shade 3, and it's a perfect match for me. This brand is known for and marketed to be products for women over 40. And they don't have a ton of product offerings on Sephora's website, but this was a hit. When I applied this, it was like, I was blown away. This is probably one of my favorite makeup discoveries this month. It is called the Face Flex Concealer. Again, I'm the shade 3. So what I love about this concealer is it's extremely lightweight, but it gives really nice coverage. It almost feels like a serum concealer. It has that like very nice slippy texture that just blends into the skin so easily. I've worn this several days and it has great longevity. It wears beautifully. It doesn't crease. It is really, really nice. After I tried this, I got online and I ordered her bronzer. She has a bronzer I ordered in 2 shades. And then I also ordered her mineral SPF. She's a mineral SPF that has a little bit of an illumination. So those 2 products are on their way to me, so I'll keep you posted when those arrive. I didn't see a foundation, but I need to check her website directly to see if maybe they offer more products on her site that they don't offer at Sephora. But I'm using my N14 brush to blend this in, just kind of pressing it into the skin just to blend it out real quickly.
We got a question about if the SPF is similar to the elastin that you use.
Okay, so a question about the Dr. Jart SPF and if it's similar to the elastin. I wouldn't say it's very similar. I think it actually gives more coverage than the elastin. It has a much dewier finish than the elastin. So if I had to pick over the 2, I would still say my elastin is my holy grail. But if you like a really glowy finish, the Dr. Jart is really beautiful. I like the elastin because it has this matte, like I would describe it as a kind of a matte radiant finish. So it's not mattifying. Your skin looks radiant, but it doesn't look dewy. Where this you can see looks dewy. And if you touch it, you can feel this dewy texture where the elastin doesn't have that. So I feel like the elastin is just a better bet under every foundation. This pairs well under some foundations, but I don't think that this would work well under every foundation. I'm gonna use a powder foundation today, so it's gonna work well under that, but I probably wouldn't pair this under illuminating foundation or something that's also glowy. Love the concealer, moisture source, and lip grip. Oh, okay, so those are the CREAL products. Okay, I'm gonna add those to my list. I love my N14. I love my N14 too. This is such a great brush for concealer, and then I'll use it to set the concealer too with powder. You see how like easy that blended out the concealer? So quick, so pretty. The coverage on this concealer is so good, but it's so lightweight. It doesn't look heavy. It doesn't accentuate texture or fine lines under the eyes. It's a really beautiful, beautiful formula. Okay, so now we have concealer. Let me take a second to, okay, so Birdie Girl says, I love elastin. I wear it. I know, I love it too. It is so, so good. I wish it weren't so expensive. That's my only beef with it, is it's like, and when I started wearing this, I swear it's gone up at like $20 in cost since I started wearing it. It's so good though. Okay, so let's talk about this makeup planner. This was in my favorites video. This is a Trish McAvoy makeup planner. Let me know if you have a makeup planner or if you're familiar with this. So I used to work at Saks Fifth Avenue like over 20 years ago, and I remember the makeup planners at Trish, and I can't believe it's taking me this long to actually get one. So I went to Nordstrom, I bought the planner. I actually bought an empty planner, and then I filled it with products that I already owned. I did purchase a few Trish products to put in these little magnetic palettes, but I also grabbed products that I know and love and used it. So I wanted to have kind of a go-to makeup bag, something that had everything I need to create a full face that was just ready to go, something that I didn't unpack and repack, something that if I were traveling and I wanted to throw in a suitcase, it was ready. If I was leaving the house, doing my makeup at the office or at the studio, I had something with everything I needed in it. So I created this makeup palette. And the foundation that I have in here, so let me actually show you this palette a little in better detail. So when you purchase the palette, it comes with, it's just an empty bag with an empty palette. I went in and purchased and added these specific products, and then I filled it with these products, okay? Yesterday, I just added this second little magnetic palette because I love it so much. And then it has this little mesh bag where you can put other products. So in here, I have my Jane Iredale foundation, and we're gonna go in and apply that. This foundation is my favorite to wear on top of the tinted SPFs or the skin tints. because the skin tints really prep the skin and kind of give it this dewy glow, but also this like dewy grip, and the powder just lays perfectly. When I do apply this on top of a skin tint, especially a skin tint that adds coverage, I will use a large fluffy brush. So this is the BK Beauty 104. So this is designed to pick up less product and apply less product than say a brush like this, the 116. The 116 is shorter, it's more dense, it's designed to give full coverage. I don't really need full coverage because I already have the skin tint on. If I didn't have the skin tint on and I just had bare skin with a transparent moisturizer, I would probably go in with a brush like this to build that coverage, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go in with the 104, and we're going to apply this to add a little extra coverage and also to kind of softly mattify the skin. I like the glow, but I also need something that's going to last all day, not look greasy, not look heavy, and so this is just going to kind of set it.
Corey asked, how does it wear through the day, the concealer?
The concealer wears beautifully throughout the day. I do set it with a little powder, which I haven't done yet, but I always set my concealers with powder, but it doesn't crease, it doesn't fade. I saw a comment about the elastin looking orange. Yeah, that's the only thing, is they have one shade of it, so it's not very flexible unless you kind of fit that tone. Look at how pretty that looks, so pretty. It's the perfect size travel bag, yes. Oh, and by the way, they have a smaller version of this. So this is the medium size bag. They also sell a small. And then they do sell a set that comes preloaded with makeup. So you can buy it with products already in it if you're okay with, you know, going with the preloaded shades that they include. And it's a better value. I think total, the preloaded set is like over $700 worth of product, but you pay like around $300 for it. Okay. Hey, Corey. Hey, Misty. I'm so glad you guys are here. How to make the N17. Okay, so if you, the question was the N17. Marie, do you mind grabbing me an N17? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna answer that question about the N17 and how to get a streak-free finish with it in just a second. I'm gonna go grab one for you. Should conceal come up to the lash line? If not, good question, Emily. So I do take my concealer up to the lash line. I'll apply it a little lower. So I'll apply it like here and here, and then I'll blend it out, and it will give that coverage from below the eye up to the lash line. I just would be careful and mindful not to apply too much product right under the lash line, because that's where you have the most texture and creases in the skin. And if you have excessive product there, it's likely gonna settle and migrate in those areas. Okay, so the question, someone asked a question about the N17 and how to get a streak-free finish with it. So the N17 is designed to use your liquid and cream products with this side of the brush with the lighter fibers and powder on this side. So if you're using liquid or cream products, I would pick up your product. I can't really, here, I'll just use my Jane Iredale powder, but you can imagine that this is cream. And just press the brush. Just press the brush onto the skin to build your coverage and apply the product versus sweeping or swiping. You can certainly sweep or swipe when you're ready to like sheer or blend out an edge, but when you have a lot of product on the brush that you're applying, I would just press and bounce it on the skin. You'll get the most coverage that way, and you'll avoid any streaks or lines. So I hope that helps. Okay, yes, Corey says tap with the N17. Tapping is kind of my go-to. It's how you're gonna get the best coverage. And all of our brushes, even with this tapping motion, will blend product out as it's building coverage. Okay, all right, okay, so let's go ahead and set underneath the eyes, and I'm gonna share another new favorite. I was really excited to try this product. This is the Givenchy pressed powders. So I have heard a lot about these powders being kind of not necessarily a replacement to the original loose, but being similar to the original loose. So if you're not familiar, Givenchy had these loose powders, Prisma Libre powders. They reformulated them recently, and it completely changed the finish of them. They went from being this really beautiful soft matte to being something that's a lot more luminous and glowy, and I'm not really a fan of the new formula. I think that's kind of the general consensus, is the new formula is not as great as the old and original. So they launched these pressed ones. I picked up 2 shades. This is the shade 02 Satin Blanc. And I do like these. I really do like these. They made it into my favorites video, but I wouldn't say that it's exactly like the pressed. I feel like it's a little bit heavier than the pressed version. So my recommendation when using this powder is to use a fluffy brush. So this is the N17, the darker fibers are on this side, and these are long and loose. So this is designed to apply powder in a really soft, sheer, natural way. So I'm gonna use a brush like this versus for example, a brush like the 116 or something that's really dense. Not to say you can't use a dense brush with this product, but just keep in mind you're gonna be applying quite a bit of powder, and I always like to keep my powders pretty light. So I'm gonna go in with the darker fiber, and I'm just gonna set right underneath the eye, set that concealer. They do blur texture, so if you have large pores, they're gonna smooth the appearance of your pores, make everything look nice and smooth. And they are similar, they're just, my only thing is they're a little bit heavier than the loose were. I got it in this shade, and then I also got it in the shade 3, which is like the rose shade. That's really nice too, and both of them work for me. And I like to just set the center of the face. I really have more noticeable pores right here. I also tend to produce more oil in the center of my face, and that's the part of my makeup throughout the day that needs to be set and stay in place. Is that powder okay for mature, dry skin? If you use a skin tint under it, do you still need the spray? Okay, Amy, so I'll address your first question. Is the powder okay for mature, dry skin? It is. I would just be light with it. Is it the best powder for mature, dry skin? No, I think that there are other powders. I would probably stick with a loose powder. If you're looking for a pressed powder for mature, dry skin, I would probably recommend the, trying to think here. I'd probably recommend the KOSAS powder. Those are really nice for mature, dry skin, but it's good, it'll work, but it's probably not the best option. Elastin is the best. I also like the Color Science. Elizabeth, I used to use the Color Science years ago when I first started my YouTube channel. Corey asks if it would be good for touch-ups. Yes. And another thing I want to call out that I didn't mention, I'm glad your question sparked it, is the compact comes with a little brush. And it actually stays in there. It's pretty secured in there. So if you want to keep this in your bag, you have a little brush to touch up with throughout the day. And it's actually not a terrible brush. It works. Just use the side of it and you can just touch up real easily. So it's a great touch-up powder. If you have oily skin, I think you will love this product. Melissa says, loving my BK207 and 28 brushes. Yay! And the Angie Hot and Flashy Concealer Brush. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Melissa. I have dry skin and I love the KOSAS pressed powder. Awesome. So you guys agree the KOSAS is good for dry skin. Yeah, I think it would be better than this one for really dry skin. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about bronzer. So I actually have 2 bronzers to share. We'll apply them both and I'll talk about the key differences between the 2. So the first bronzer that I want to share is actually a bronzer from Trish McEvoy, and I purchased it in the pan refill. So I bought it from Nordstrom, and I just buy this little magnetic pan and it fit here in my planner. This is so good. I'm gonna show you guys. It is just like a very consistent, easy to blend out, easy to apply bronzer. I think I have the shade medium. I'm pretty certain the shade is medium. I'll confirm, and everything that will be listed and linked in the description box will be accurate. I'm gonna go in with the N15 and pick this bronzer up. It's just got the perfect, look at that. It's like the perfect amount of color. It's so consistent. It's not patchy at all. It's matte, but it has this like silky texture. And I love the color. It's not too warm, but it's not gray or too cool tone either. It's a really beautiful, beautiful powder bronzer. So I've been loving this one. Look how easy that is to blend. So good. I'm just gonna sweep it along my hairline here and then kind of run it down my jaw line. Okay, so the other bronzer that I love, if you want a bronzer that has a little bit of a shimmer or a sheen, the MERCIER, this is the Bronze Color Infusion. So it's got a highlighter shade and then a bronzer shade. I actually just mix the 2 together. You can certainly apply the bronzer, apply the highlighter separately, but I just kind of mix the 2 together. And this is beautiful. It also just blends out beautifully. It has a little bit of a sheen. So it kind of gives you more of that like natural sun-kissed glow, where this gives a little more definition and structure. So if you're looking for a more natural kind of all over bronzer, I would go with this one. If you're looking for a bronzer to kind of give a little bit more structure and definition, I would go with the matte, but they're both so good. Mel asks if she can watch this live later. Yes, this live is going to be saved on my channel, so you can come back and watch it anytime. This also is a little bit warmer. Do you see that? A little warmer, gives a little highlight to the skin. Really pretty. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of this and just run it on the nose, run it on the nose. Perfect. So do you see how that reflects a little light? You see a little bit more highlight where this is just a little more matte. But I love both of those. Don't be intimidated by bronzers. Just make sure you're using the right brush. If you use a brush that's very dense, it can be harder to blend out. I love the N15 because it's nice and fluffy and it's not too big. I also love the 104, but the 104 is pretty large. So if you use a brush like this, you're gonna disperse it and apply it in a larger part of the face. It's gonna be harder to control where you apply it. So if you have the right brush, it should be easy. Do you find that powdered bronzers have more staying power than liquid or stick bronzers? So I think it kind of just depends on your skin type. I think if you have oily skin, yes, I would do a powder because a liquid or a cream kind of will break down with the oils in your skin and move and migrate over the face. But the best combo, if you're looking for longevity, would be to do a liquid or a cream with a powder on top, setting it with a powder. That's going to be the best way to get longevity. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some blush. The blush that I want to share in favorites is also by Trish McAvoy. Do we have any people here that have been wearing and using Trish? Because I am ashamed to admit that, I mean, I've used some of her products over the years, but I've never really like dove into the brand. And I purchased a lot of her products over the last month, and a lot of them were a big hit. So I'm kind of a Trish fan now. So I picked up this blush. This is the shade Happy. I loved it so much. I actually went and picked this one up yesterday. I have not applied it yet, but this is the shade that I love. It's called Happy, and it's this really beautiful peachy pink. It's matte, but it has a little bit of radiance to it, so it's not a flat matte. It's so nice. I'm gonna go in with the N17, and I'm gonna use this side of the brush. The only thing I will say about these powders is there is a lot of kickback. Do you see all of that powder? So you just have to be mindful about that when you're applying it, just to kind of gets a little messy. So keep that in mind.
We have a question from Yolanda. Have you ever thought of making a baby 104? I think the 104 could use a little sister.
I agree. So the comment was, have I ever thought about making a baby 104, so a smaller version of this? And I completely agree. I've actually have had that thought myself several times, so I'm glad to hear you say that. I completely agree. We need a smaller version of this. I was thinking the 108, which is too small. We need something between the 108 and the 104 because there's a similar shape, and I love them both, but one's really large and one's really small. Look at that. It's so pretty. So pretty. It's been a while. I take that back. I was gonna say it's been a while since I fell in love with a powder blush, but the new Say Beauty blushes are really nice. But I've just been all about creams lately, but this powder blush is just so good. It's very pigmented, but it's very easy to blend out. So if you apply a lot like I just did, you can just kind of work your brush on top of it and it'll blend out. And it's very easy to fix. Okay, so we got a little bit more going here than we do here. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my powder foundation. I'm gonna take my powder brush and we're just gonna kind of run it on top. Use my VK 108. I love the 108. It is like, it's probably the first brush that I truly fell in love with. It was one of our originals, not our original 9, but it was the next launch after that. And I used that brush for everything. Before we had, you know, concealer brushes and highlight brushes and all these brushes that we have now, I use that brush for everything. Have I tried any of the new red blushes? I have not. They scare me. I know I shouldn't say that, but I need to try them because every time I see people apply them online, they'll be more fair than me and they'll apply a bright red and it looks stunning. So Rare Beauty did send me their collection of new blushes and there's a red blush in there. So I'm gonna use it this week. I'll report back. When you demo 2 different products, such as the 2 bronzers, do you go about your day without concern? Good question. So the question is, when I do my makeup and I use different products on each side, do I just go about my day? I do. I mean, if it's really obvious, I'll probably fix a little here and there, but I've kind of just accepted that some days I'm gonna have great makeup days and some days I might look a little questionable because I'm trying new products all the time. You know, I'm not always using my favorite product. Sometimes I'm trying a new product and it's a fail and I just have to deal with it. There are worse things, right? Okay, really excited to share the next product. To blow all that blush off. So Ilia launched these new cream shadow sticks. These are so good. I picked up 4 shades, all neutral. I picked up 3 mattes, 1 shimmer. They're very creamy. They blend out well. They have great staying power. What's unique about these from other cream shadow sticks, I think, is the shape of the tip. So it's got this slant to it. You see that? Where most cream shadow sticks, I'll show you. my Trish one because I also got this Trish one. It's really nice. Most cream shadow sticks have more of a rounded tip. So this one has a slant. This one's more rounded, which is typical for this type of product. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the slant at first. I didn't know if it was going to make it more difficult to work with, but I actually really like it. So I'm using the shade Flax, and I'll use the flat part all over my lid. But if I'm using a darker shade and I want to use it as eyeliner, I'll just turn it and I'll use the tip of it and I'll run it like underneath the lash line. So it kind of gives you a little more versatility in terms of how you can apply it. I always like to do one eye at a time with these products just because I want time to spread them out and blend them out before they dry and set. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on top of this. I'm gonna grab an eyeshadow brush and I'm just gonna kind of soften and blend out the edge a little bit. But I've really been loving these. They're very, very nice. Cream shadow sticks are kind of one of those products that I get real excited when I see a new, like a brand launch a new collection of. They're a product that I love. I just love how easy they are to use. I love that you can use them as a primer or just as an all-over shade. It makes your makeup quick and simple. It also lasts and stays all day. I'm just gonna take this brush and kind of blend out the lower lash line. So this is the shade Flax, and it's this really pretty, soft, muted, kind of cool tone brown. I'm gonna compare these to the Victoria Beckham eye sticks. I have not tried those yet. I've tried her eyeliners and I love them, but I haven't tried her cream shadow sticks. Do you like the Ilia bronzer and highlighter? Noon seems to talk about these. The Ilia bronzer, so they have a cream bronzer, right? They just launched, I tried their, I think they launched a cream bronzer recently and I do really like that. I don't have a powder bronzer from them though. Is that the one you're referring to? Okay, so I'm gonna do a nice layer of that and then come under and apply a little on my lower lash line. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so yes, I think we are confirming that's the cream bronzer. Yes, I have tried that one and I love that. That's kind of a newish product, right? I feel like that launched in the last year. Okay, I'm just gonna run this under the lower lashes. Perfect. What's so funny?
Misty says, you converted me to using cream eyeshadow sticks last year. I am obsessed.
Yes, well, I'm glad you are obsessed. Hey, Jan. Misty, I'm glad you're loving them too. I'm kind of at this stage in life where I still love to put on makeup. I still love to be put together and I love the glam, but I just want it to be quick and easy. And I just find cream products are just more flattering on my skin these days. Okay, I want to share this other little hack with you. This Trish McAvoy bronzer, it is the perfect shade to pop in your crease as like a transition shade. And you can really do this with any bronzer, but for some reason, this one is just like perfect. So I've just been popping that in my crease to add a little definition and kind of polish the eye makeup off. It's just an added little extra step. Sweep that back and forth, back and forth. Okay, the VBB doesn't budge on me either, because I tried. Okay, I guess that's the Victoria Beckham Beauty. Yeah. I've tried a few of her products and I've really enjoyed everything I've tried. Okay, that's pretty. Perfect. Okay, cream is best for my almost 72-year-old skin. Yes, Jan. Cream is nice. I started using shadow pencils after watching Lisa's video, so easy and fast. Yay, I love that. Hi, Lisa, what do you use for dark eyes? Are you talking about like dark under eyes? Are we asking about concealer? Okay, so let's go ahead and spice up this eye a little bit. Obviously we could pop out a little eyeliner, mascara, and be done, but I do want to share this Trish McAvoy cream shadow stick that I've been loving. This is the 24-hour eyeshadow and liner, and this is the shade Topaz. And it's kind of this like shimmery, smoky taupe shade. It actually reminds me a lot of the Bobbi Brown Golden Bronze. So if you already own that, because I know I rave about that and I talk about that particular product all the time. If you already own that, this is very, very similar. So you definitely don't need both. But I've been using this as kind of like a little liner. So I'll apply it almost like a really thick liner on the eye. I do go and smudge it, so I'm gonna use my N12 brush, and I'm just gonna kind of smoke it up a little bit. I still wanna concentrate all of that closer to the lash line. Like I don't want it all over my lid, but I want it to have a little softer edge. So pretty. So do you see what that does? It just adds a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of highlight to the lid, but it still keeps it pretty, you know, pretty basic eye. You're really selling me on this Trish bronzer. Yolanda, I'm sorry. It's good though. If you like a matte powder bronzer, it's definitely one of the top matte powder bronzers I've used. And it's that particular shade, medium. I haven't tried any of the other shades, but I just love everything about it. I love the shade. I love how it blends. It's just really nice. Okay, this is the N12 brush. We're just gonna kind of run it right over that, soften out the edges. Perfect. Okay. So pretty. Okay, let's see if we have any questions. Trish McAvoy liner in a shade. Okay, so Michelle's on my comments. She's dropping links. If you guys have questions about any particular product or shade, she can answer them and let you know what I'm using. Okay, let's go ahead and apply mascara. So for mascara, I actually just have in this little set the Revitalash dual ended. This is a primer and mascara in one. This is the kind of a mascara that I go to when I'm traveling, just because it's two products in one. It has your primer and it has your mascara on the other end. So I'm gonna go in with the primer first. Kind of load that up. Oops, made a little mess. Okay, we'll clean that up in a minute. All right, and then we're gonna go in with the mascara. I like to apply mascara before the primer has time to completely dry. That way I can still separate the lashes if I want to. If you apply when the primer is completely dry, you might have lashes that are stuck together and you don't have that same flexibility to really separate the lashes. So I'll do one eye at a time. And this mascara is very volumizing. It's gonna give a lot of volume. You do reach a point with this mascara where you can't really continue to build it. It is one that gets clumpy if you layer too much of it, just FYI.
Ooh, Ilana says, just receive your eyelash curl.
Yay.
Love the handles.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm proud of her, our lash curler. I did not curl my lashes today, but it does make such a difference when you do. It's like that little extra step. Perfect, okay. Is Lisa using the medium shade in the Trish? Yes, Kelly, I'm using the medium shade. What is your favorite powder bronzer ever? Oh God, that's hard, Misty. I feel like I'm making such a commitment when I say, people will call me out, they're like, you said this was your favorite 2 weeks ago. I try so much. I would say one that is like top powder bronzer is probably the YSL. They make a powder bronzer, and what I love about it is how soft it is. It's a very soft, velvety texture. Like it's a powder, but it almost applies like the look of a cream, if that makes sense. It's really, really nice. But if you're looking for a good drugstore, L'Oreal Infallible is so good. The Infallible bronzers, powder bronzers are so good. And also the Physicians Formula butter bronzers are phenomenal. So you certainly don't need to spend $60 on a bronzer. Those are good. Those are just as good in my opinion.
What is your favorite all-time mascara?
Oh, that's an easy one. So the question was, what's my favorite all-time mascara? It's definitely the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. That is my favorite. It is, it just gives lots of volume and length, but also this really beautiful wispy lash look. So it separates the lashes. They look wispy, they look soft, they look fluffy. It's really beautiful. And it's underrated. I think it's the best mascara there is. And it's also one of those products that I have so many people come back and tell me they bought it and they also love it. So it's one of, you know, some products are like more preference, like they're kind of based on your personal preferences. That mascara, I will say, I don't know what there is to not like about it, you know? Like sometimes I'll love a product, but I'll also say, you know, I love this, but if you have skin like this, you might not love it. Or if you prefer products like this, you might not love this one. But when it comes to that mascara, I can't think of who would not like it. It's so good. We'll link it down below. It's the silver tube from Bobbi Brown. Do you have one eye that just has better lashes than the other? For me, it is my left eye. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, this mascara is good, but I will say it doesn't have a long life. You know how some mascaras you can use for months and months and months, and it still works really great. I feel like this mascara has about a 6-week cycle. After 6 weeks, I feel like, okay, I need to, it's not performing like it did when I first opened it. Okay. Oh, Alana says L'Oreal Big Deal Mascara is amazing. It is. That's another really good one. And that's kind of a newer launch. That's really, really good. Maybelline Sky High. Yeah, that's a good one too. Maybelline has good mascaras. I feel like L'Oreal has the best when it comes to drugstore mascaras though. Which is kind of like, even though I love Bobbi Brown, I think Lancome as a whole makes really great mascaras. What exfoliator product would you recommend 54-year-old mature dry skin? Gosh, I would probably use a chemical exfoliator versus a physical exfoliator. So something with like active ingredients that will exfoliate the skin versus something that has like a scrub or a physical exfoliant to it. One of my favorites, actually, they're reformulating, so I need to kind of do a little more research and have backup recommendations, but the Biologique Resurge P50 lotion is what my favorite exfoliator. Paula's Choice is a gentle exfoliator. That's a good one. Okay, so how are we looking? Okay, let's move on to lips. I feel like I need a little more blush, but I always feel that way. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more blush. I'm gonna go in with the N15, and you know what? Let's try this new one that I got from Trish. It's this softer pink shade. I think it's called like Pretty in Pink or something. I'll link it down below. It's a little lighter. It's got a little shimmer to it too. Okay, so that's a good like topper for me, but I wouldn't wear that by itself on me because it doesn't really offer much color. How often do you see your esthetician? Thank you. I see her, I'm trying to get better about my visits with her. I try and do microneedling once every like 8 months, I'd say. And when I do microneedling, I do a session of 3, a series of 3, and they're 6 weeks apart. So about once a year, I'll go every 6 weeks for microneedling. And other than that, that's kind of it. I feel like I just have a really good dialed in skincare maintenance routine. You know, I remove all my makeup before washing my skin, so I make sure my skin is clean every night before I go to bed. I use an essence, I use an exfoliator, I use a retinol, moisturizer. I feel like those products and that routine really helps me extend my appointments. I don't feel like I need to see an esthetician every month, although it would be nice. If I had the time, I would. Okay, let's move on to lips. So I purchased this liner recently. It's from Hourglass, and it is the Shape and Sculpt lip liner in the shade Tempt 3, and I have been loving it. It's very silky, very creamy, and it's a good kind of spicy nude lip pencil. It's also one that you could fill your lips in and like wear as a lipstick because it's that creamy, it's not drying. And I'm going to slightly extend the upper lip just a tiny bit. Okay. Jenna says hi from the Middle East. Hey Jenna, thanks for being here. We're gonna keep getting interrupted. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you can definitely watch this later. That's what I love about YouTube is the lives are saved on my channel, so you can come back and watch it anytime. So a little trick when you're overlining your lip, I always start inside the lip line. So I never start outside the lip line. I always start there, and then I'll just kind of thicken the line slowly so it slightly extends over the lip border. But that's how you'll get the most natural looking overlined lip. And that way too, when the product starts to fade off the lips, you're not left with this big ring around your lips. You want it to fade and wear off and not look crazy. And then also filling your lip in a little bit will help with that.
Oh, we have a nice question from Sira. Best bronzer for very fair, muted, cool skin. Never used bronzer before. I found you a while ago and you rekindled my love for makeup.
Oh, I love that.
Have a few of your brushes on the way.
Oh, thank you. Did you guys hear Maria's comment? I hope you heard that. Thank you for, who sent that?
Sierra.
Sierra? Thank you for
It's
that.
better.
I'll read it. Let me see if I can find it.
Is best bronzer for
Best bronzer for fair skin. So I would say, I'd probably say either the Physicians Formula, the lightest version, or the L'Oreal lightest version of bronzer. Those two are really nice because they're not really, really warm or orangey at all. And the formulas, they're powder, but they're this very velvety powder. So, and they also have a little bit of, not shimmer to them, but they reflect light off the skin, so it gives a softer appearance and a softer application. When you're working with powder matte bronzers, they don't have that same quality where they reflect light, so it doesn't look as soft and sheer and kind of sun-kissed where the bronzers that have that quality will look. So I think the L'Oreal and the Physicians Formula, the lightest shade, are really nice. They're not too warm or dark. Okay, all right, let's apply lipstick. Okay, this is such an underrated product. Clinique's lipsticks, they are so good, you guys. This is the shade Beige Pop 31. And what I like about these lipsticks is they have a lot of pigment. Now they're not super shiny or glossy at all, but they have this satin finish, so they're not matte either. But they have good wearability. Sometimes matte lipsticks are nice because they wear really well, but they can look and feel drying on the lips. Whereas glossy formulas look really beautiful on the lips, but you have to touch up all day because the product wears off. This is kind of middle of the road. It's not dry and matte, it's not glossy, but the color lasts. And I love this shade. This is the shade Beige Pop. I do pair it with a liner that's a little darker though, because it is kind of, it's lighter. So I definitely want a little more definition in the lips from a darker liner. Karen says Clinique has great products. They sure do. I miss Clinique with all these new brands. I feel like Clinique has been forgotten. I agree. I'm trying not to focus on just talking about the newest releases. I'm trying to really try brands that are these legacy brands that no one talks about anymore, but still have phenomenal products. The Laura Mercier being one of them. This bronzer I picked up, recently. I saw that Laura Mercier launched these. I don't see a lot of people talking about Laura Mercier, but they have really great products. So I'm trying to try everything. So Phyllis, we post jobs on Indeed and also LinkedIn. So connect with me on LinkedIn or my husband, Paul, and you can see we don't really have much posted now, but that's where we would post everything. Bobbi Brown has been forgotten too. I still love that brand. I agree. They have great products. Okay, and then last, let's talk about gloss. So let's touch everything up with gloss. I have two glosses that I wanted to share in my favorites this month. We'll just use this one because it kind of pairs better with what we have going on. But I do want to give a shout out to my friend, Beauty Professor, who just launched this collaboration with this brand, La Métier de Beauté. Like, it's embarrassing. La Métier de Beauté. That's how you say that. And she just launched this. It's beautiful, but this is a color that I would wear alone because it's so pigmented. Let me show you. This is the shade Beauty Professor, and it's this really pretty pink with a pearl finish to it. And it's got a lot of color. It's one of these colors that you can just apply and it'll like aliven the face, whether you're wearing very minimal makeup or you have like full makeup on. You can wear this with a smoky eye. You can wear this with no eye makeup. It's really nice. Very hydrating, very glossy. And if you follow Rachel, her handle is Beauty Professor. This is like the color, her signature color, I feel like. She's always wearing a really pretty pink like this. But the gloss that I'm gonna apply today is actually from City Beauty. It's the City Lips. I love these glosses. They're plumping glosses, but they're very comfortable. They're not like irritating or too harsh on the lips. And this is the shade South Peach, and it's this really pretty kind of muted peach. It doesn't have any shimmer to it. You see that? But see how it's a little bit more sheer, so it's a great color to top on a lip liner and lipstick. Just add a little bit of that. Will you ever be adding to the BK Beauty makeup line? Oh, thank you, Stacy. Yes, I think BK Beauty still has a lot of exciting things coming. That's what I'll say. Step-by-step routine for cleaning brushes. Yes, I can. And actually, the best place to find those are going to be on BK Beauty's. We have brush cleaning videos on our YouTube channel.
Just posted,
Yeah. If you find BK Beauty on Instagram, I'm sorry, on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, we have a lot of brush washing videos there. Hey, Carol. Love this look. Very soft glam. Thank you, Lacey. Yes, it's my kind of look. Soft glam, put together, not overdone. So that is the look. So those are just some of the products that I've been loving this month. I'll have everything listed and linked, of course, and tagged. And I do have my monthly favorites video, which should be posting this weekend, which is kind of a recap of these products, but in a more kind of edited, curated video. All right, you guys, well, let's go ahead and pick a winner. So Maria is going to pick a winner at random. If you are new to our lives, we always grab and select a winner at the end. She's going to just choose someone by random. I will call your name out. If you can just drop a comment to let us know that you recognized and heard your name, and then you'll email us at vip@bkbeauty.com. You'll shoot us an email with your shipping address, and we are going to send you some BK Beauty goodies and put together some surprises.
The winner is Stacy Dyson.
Stacy Dyson? Okay, so Stacy Dyson, you are the winner. So drop a comment if you're still here, and everybody congratulate Stacy. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, hi Lisa, the French ladies will love your look. It's minimal, beautiful look today. Thank you. Yay, congrats, Stacy. Okay, Stacy, there she is. Yay, congratulations, Stacy. So Stacy, if you can shoot us an email shortly at vip@bkbeauty.com, and we'll gather we just basically need your shipping address, and we'll get your goodies out to you this week. We'll send you some BK Beauty goodies, and then I'll put together some fun little PR surprises. So congratulations. Well, thank you guys for being here with me. This was so fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the new little setup and scenery today. Usually I film these out of my studio, but we're at the BK Beauty offices today. I hope you guys have a beautiful week. I will see you guys next Tuesday, and then keep an eye out. I did upload a YouTube video this morning, actually talking more about this makeup planner. So if you missed that, it went live a few hours ago, so you can catch that either later today or whenever you have time. And then I will see you guys next week. All right, thanks for joining. Bye, you guys.